Hello and welcome to another edition of GIMP Nation. I'm your host, Jensen Caraballo, and my co-host today is Ruth Mott. Our guest today is Erica Jones, systems advocate at CDR, and a part of her position is coordinating the New York Disability Vote Network. Welcome. What is the biggest issue facing voters with disabilities in the U.S. today?
The biggest issue, I would say, is getting out to vote and getting their voice heard, because accessibility at the polling stations is still a problem. You're just getting into the station is an issue, and whether it's you can't get through the door or there's stairs, or once you're in the station, the accessible machines are either not there or set up.
I know there's brand new accessible voting machines that we introduced this year. Can you tell us some of the features of these machines?
Of course. Depending on your disability, they do have a sip and puff, which is a straw that would go in your mouth if you have to vote, and you're not able to use your arms. Or they have paddles that you can just simply press. Again, if you are not able to vote in another way. Or they have headphones for people who can't see the screen.
Okay, so are the polling places using these machines? And have you heard of any stories this year?
You know, Jensen, they're really supposed to. They're supposed to have these machines up and running at every station. But I've been hearing stories about, in my own experience, about how they aren't. That a person goes in to vote and either the machine is not operational or it simply isn't there. And how can a disabled voter go in and put their vote in if they don't have access to a machine they can use?
What about some people that have said they can't leave their homes, so the voting isn't accessible for them?
There's still always a way. There's always a way to vote. Most board of elections, you can schedule ahead and you can go in and vote with them, or you can place a absentee ballot, which you can find everywhere, even the DMV.
Okay. I heard you were a poll worker. How did that go?
You know, I was really excited to be a poll worker, just to see the experience of the training and, you know, what actually happens behind the scenes. And I was disappointed to find that there was not very big emphasis on training as far as what to do when someone with a disability comes in. You know, what do you do if someone comes in with a service dog? Most people don't realize that they are not pets and you shouldn't touch them. When I got to my polling station, I found the first place I went to was not actually accessible, and I had to be placed somewhere else. And I was questioned, well, why didn't you tell me that you had a disability when I was talking to you about your polling station?
Wow.
Well, how often do you tell people on the phone that you don't know that you have a physical disability? It's not exactly, you know, a conversation starter.
Right.
Exactly.
So that was pretty weird and uncomfortable.
Yeah, that sounds weird.
Yeah, that does
So-
sound very uncomfortable.
Definitely, and in front of the other poll workers even, which was unbelievable. But every station is supposed to be accessible anyway, so to find that it was at a church that didn't have an accessible bathroom was unacceptable.
Completely. Jensen, I have a question for you.
Okay.
I heard that you wanted to use the accessible machines this year. How did that go? Was that available to you?
Yeah, actually, I went down to the polling place, and I was never presented the option to even use a machine. the funny part is, as soon as I got to the place, everyone wanted to help me at the same time. So it was like smothering me, and I was confused for a little bit. And then I realized that there was a machine, but I didn't know whether it was working or not, because as soon as I got there, they gave me a paper ballot, they sat me on the table, and told me to vote that way.
It sounds a lot like my experience that I had.
Talk about yours.
I got to the polling place, and the accessible machine I didn't even know was there. It wasn't even presented. I wasn't told that it was there until the very end, and apparently they considered it such a hassle to set up that it was just stashed off in the corner, not even turned on.
Wow, that's sad. That's really sad. It's like they just don't see us as voters. They don't
No.
care. Okay, so let's talk about the attitudes of poll workers this year. Were poll workers willing to help? Were there ableist attitudes exhibited?
Definitely, I would say so. When it came to able-bodied people or people without disabilities, they were more than welcome to offer help and go over things with them, just bend over backwards. But when seniors came in or people with poor eyesight came in, once somebody asked for help, they were told, well, do the best you can, and here's a magnifying glass. But if your eyesight is going, or you have poor eyesight to begin with, a magnifying glass probably isn't going to help you too much.
Right.
Not a whole lot, no.
So,
What exactly is ableism?
ableism to me is making a person with a disability feel like they're lesser than you just because of their disability.
But too, I feel like there's a flip side to the willingness to help. It's like an able-bodied person can go too far.
Right.
They can, like you said about your polling experience, they can smother you.
Yeah, like I said, they all wanted to help, but no one, not one person, helped me in that situation. But I know that they had intentions of helping the gimp or, the poor, but
Yeah.
So the title of today's show is New York Voters Matter, unless they're crippled. Some people may find this a harsh-sounding topic, hard to deal with. Can you explain why this rings true? Unfortunately, in 2015.
Well, I think it has to do with the ableism that we've just mentioned, and also having instances still happen where somebody comes up to you while you're voting and says, I've never used that machine before. Can I watch? And they don't do that to anyone else. Having your privacy invaded is not okay just because you have a disability. And I'm hearing too many stories of this happening specifically this year, and specifically in Monroe County. So we really need to step it up a little and make sure that the disabled people in this county, in this state, in this country are feeling like their words and their vote are sacred just like everyone else.
Right.
okay, we're going to be wrapping up soon, but I wanted to talk more about NYDVN and how our viewers can join the network and what it is and what it does.
Absolutely. The NYDVN stands for the New York Disability Vote Network. It is a disability voting block made of people with disabilities, but also our awesome allies, because we need allies. We need every single voice we can get. I send out through NYDVN updates on what's going on in Albany and locally, and even Washington, D.C., because as we know, bills that come out affect us quite a bit.
Right.
And we need to be informed, especially if it's going to be something negative, so that we can intervene and make sure that whatever person's putting out this bill, we let them know it's unacceptable.
So is this network a national initiative or a local initiative? Is it by state or how what's
Well, each state is starting to have their own voting initiative.
okay, but NYDVN is just for New York.
Yep, just New York State.
Gotcha.
Right. Thanks so much for being with us, Erica. Remember to tune in to future episodes of GIMP Nation, where we always talk about things that matter. Until next time, this is Ruth Mott with Jensen Caraballo. And please, when you're on the street and you pass somebody with a disability, remember, GIMPs matter.